Hi everybody, this is Crystal with Forever Me Photography. Recently you've shown some interest in seeing some tutorials on editing in Photoshop, so I thought I would share one of the techniques that I've used with you. And this technique is basically inputting a gradient sky overlay with some clouds. Primarily I use these on pictures where I've shot and the sky really doesn't have a lot going on for itself, like the picture that's on my desktop right now. This is a senior photo. I love everything about it, but I do not like the sky, so I'm going to attempt to improve the sky. So in order to do this technique, you will need a couple things. First of all, obviously you will need Photoshop. The second thing would be the image that you're wanting to change. And you can do just the gradient sky overlay, but if you want clouds in it, you'll also need an image that has clouds in it. A lot of people sell those textures, sky overlays and textures like that. To be quite honest with you, you can go outside on a nice day. If you see a sky that you love, take a picture of it. You can use that as an overlay. It does not have to be purchased. You can actually create these yourselves, and that's what I've done in this case. Alright, so we're going to get started. The first thing that you want to do is open your image that you're editing in Photoshop, as I have here. And then you're going to come down here to the bottom right corner and you're going to create a new layer by clicking on that little box right there. So if you notice right here, we've created a new layer. Then the next thing that you want to do is you want to choose what colors you want in your sky, and typically you go with 2. Remember that over here in this box area, these are our colors. To change them, all you need to do is click on it and choose your color and then hit OK, and then click on the bottom, choose your color and hit OK. What you need to remember is the top box is what will be the top color on your picture, and the bottom box is what the bottom picture will be, the gradient fade goes to. So just remember that. So the colors that I've chosen are a darker blue and a lighter blue. I like that combination. So the next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to grab the rectangular marquee tool and make a box where you want your sky overlay to go. You want to make sure that you don't go too far down in the horizon, but that you do get everything where the sky is. So you define the sky area. Then what I want you to do is click on the gradient tool, which is over here, and then make sure up here that this box is checked, which is linear gradient. And once you do that, you can see how it's going to kind of fall off. The colors will fall off in your sky. So then once you've clicked both of those, linear gradient and the gradient tool, you're going to come to just above where your picture is, draw a line down to just below where your box stops, and it'll look like this. And it looks a little bit crazy right now, but bear with me, it will get better. The next thing I want you to do is get rid of this box, so you just hit the Control and then D, and that should go away. Alright, so over here, here's your layer showing what you just put in there. Right here where this arrow is, these are layer modes or blending modes. You want to click on that, and then you want to find Darken and hit Darken. And as you see, the tree just came back, a little bit of the detail came back. So once you've done that, then what I want you to do is go over to opacity and lower it all the way down to where you can't see anything you just did, and then bring it up just a little bit until it looks like how you want it. And I think I want mine about right there. Alright? You don't want to do it too much to where it looks fake, but you want to do it enough to where you have color. If you notice, when we made that box, we came down into some of this bush area. So what we're going to do is we're going to mask that off. And so what you do is you come down here and you add a vector mask. So click on that and you'll see a little white box come over here. And then you want to click your paintbrush. And you want this top box to be black. And let me explain to you what that is. What we're doing is we're going to either paint on or paint off our sky in the foliage area. Black is erasing and white is putting back. The reason that we're not using an eraser is because once you erase, if you erase too much, it's harder to get it back on. So by doing this, you can kind of toggle back and forth and get it right. And I'll show you what I mean here in just a minute. So make sure that your white boxes, that you click on your white box, and then you're going to come over here, and everywhere that you may have overlaid that layer onto the greenery, go ahead and just run your brush over it to erase it. So if you notice in this box here, it shows where you've done that. Now, if you were to accidentally erase something up here, oh no, you can't have that. All you need to do is go and click this little arrow to change your box to white and paint it back in. And it's super, super simple, and that's why I prefer that to erasing. Okay, so the other thing that I'm seeing that I'm not really liking a whole lot is these leaves up here kind of have blue on them. So if I was to click on it like that, obviously you're going to be able to tell that it's an overlay. So let me undo that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lower my opacity to about 15. I'm going to barely go over it just to bring a little bit of the tree out without causing it to look too fake. And actually that's a little bit too much. So I'm going to undo it. We may even just go down to about 10 and just go over those leaves real quick. When you add the clouds, it won't be so noticeable. But if you were going to leave it just as this gradient, it would be a little bit more noticeable. Okay, so we've got that done. Like I said, at this point you can leave it just the way it is, or you can add clouds in. On this particular image, I would like to add some clouds in. So what I'm going to do is drag a photo over that I've taken that I'm using as a sky texture. And I'm going to line it up the way that I did the first one. And as you notice, it created a new layer. Alright, so you're going to put that on there, and then just like before, you're going to change your blending mode to darken. As you notice, the tree came back a little bit. Then we're going to drive that opacity all the way down and just barely bring it back to where it looks natural. And I think I'm good right there. And again, if we went over something else, we want to, if we went over the bushes or whatever, you want to erase that. So you'd come down here, click on your vector mask, click on your paintbrush, make sure this box is black, and you will go over the area that you may have accidentally put the clouds on. Okay, so as you notice, the tree looks a lot better. That area that was a little bit light has kind of been covered up with the clouds. So there you have it. That is the finished product. I'm going to group these two together. You don't have to do this on your end, but I want to show you a before and after, so I need to group them. And so I can turn it on and off. So before and after. Before and after. I want to show you the before. If you notice this, whoops, let me get my pointer. This is hazy right here. So as I was doing the sky, I noticed that it looked a little bit hazy there, and I wondered, oh, did I get too much sky overlay on it or whatever? I didn't. It was already there. It was from the lighting. So again, before and after. And then once you've grouped this, and by the way, to group it, I'll show you that again in case you want to, you highlight one layer, hit your control, and then highlight another layer, and then hit Control G. Because once you group those together, you can then adjust the complete opacity of them as one unit. If you find that you think that's too dark, you can bring it all down and it's going to be even. So there you have it. That is my gradient, sky, and cloud overlay tutorial. I hope it's been helpful for you and that you're able to put it to use. Thanks and have a great day.